Hey folks, this is Mr. Fox. This is just going to be a quick video to kind of explain one of the assignments that's in the booklet for the development and industry and energy booklet assignments. And so I'm going to try to make this quick and concise. The reason I'm doing this as recording this is because I think the instructions are a little bit confusing. So I want to just make sure that you understand how to do this. So this is the assignments. It's on page 21 to 25 in the booklet. And I'm just going to go through here and make sure you kind of understand what to do. So here goes. I think, and I'm not in my normal workspace, so hopefully this isn't too fiddly. But here goes. So the assignment looks like, let's see. Just give me a second. The assignment looks like this. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see this. And this is the first page right here, page 21. And what it asks you to do, this is all about the Human Development Index. And what it asks you to do is select, as it says down here, it selects 5 countries. And if you go to this link, if you typed in that link to your browser, that one doesn't actually work. The link that actually works is the one I'm going to show you right now. So it is this link that again I will show you here is right here. So you click on that. And these links are actually in the assignment on Google Classroom. So the first link is for the first page, the second link is for the second page, and then the third link is for pages 23 to 25. So hopefully this will make sense. I think if you work through them, it'll make sense. But this is all about the Human Development Index, as I said. And so here are all the countries that are rated under the Human Development Index. And so you can just click on them. Let's click on Denmark, for example. And you can see that Denmark, their rank for the Human Development Index is number 10. Meaning they're very developed, and and so here are all the different categories and different ratings. And so income is here, and remember that's rated in GNI, based on GNI, and there's things like you know, all sorts of things, all sorts of criteria. In addition to the ones, the big 3 are the ones that we've talked about: are health, meaning life expectancy, and education, and GNI. But this website actually includes some other things as well. So you're going to go to these, and when you're going to pick 5 countries, and then you're going to put those countries in these boxes. So for example, you will pick, you know, I'll say Denmark. You know, you pick Denmark. Of course, this doesn't really fit very well. And as it says, pick a variety of different countries that have different, like from different regions, different socioeconomics classes, or you know, like different levels of wealth. I'm going to say Somalia. What's another one we could put in here? Anyway, I'm not going to do all this for you, but you could also do, you know, Vietnam. And anyway, so what I want you pick 5 countries, and then you go and then you identify what is their HDI number. Okay, and so that'll give you that on that website that is posted on Google Classroom. Then pick their rank, and then life expectancy, expected years of school, and then gross national income. So fill out this chart, and the reason for doing this is just kind of compare and see, okay, where does life expectancy in Denmark versus Somalia versus Vietnam? What are their expected years in school? And then what is their gross national income? So that's just to kind of compare and contrast different countries. That's the goal of that. Then also, if you go back to that website, the second part, again, sorry, I'm jumping around a lot. Then if you go down here, it says pick 3 countries. I say pick a highly developed country, a very underdeveloped country, and then one kind of in the middle. So what I want you to do is I want you to pick 3 countries. So I'm going to pick a highly developed country. So let's say I'm going to pick, and please don't pick the ones I've picked because that's boring. Pick ones that you're interested in. And please, United States is kind of boring. So I'm going to pick Australia. I'm going to pick, for my kind of less developed country, I'm going to pick Namibia. These are just kind of things that are popping into my head. And then I'm going to pick maybe a kind of middling country, a Latin American country that's, you know, kind of, and then I'm going to pick, what am I going to pick? Guatemala, Guatemala, and I don't even know if I spelled that right. That's okay. Then it says, go ahead and pick a data point, okay? And then what I mean by that is you go back to, the website, the HDI website, and then you can go here and, you know, go back to all the different countries. And so I'm going to go to, where's what was the first one I picked? I picked Australia. So I'm going to pick Australia here. And then if you look down here, there's all these different data points. So there's health. And if you expand them, you can see all these different things. It's not just life expectancy, but there's HIV prevalence. There's infant mortality rate. There's, if you go to education, there's things like literacy rate. There is pupil to teacher ratio. But, you know, I'd dig into this a little bit more, like gender, right? What are some other things? Let's see, what am I looking at? Proportion of births attended by a skilled health professional. I mean, you can pick anyone you want, right? Poverty, which is kind of work and employment vulnerability. So any of these data points, right? Which are human security, which is kind of interesting. Homelessness, birth rate, homicide rate. That's kind of interesting. Or unfortunately, demography. So anyway, you're going to pick one data point. So I'm going to pick one data point, and I'm going to pick homicide rate. Okay, so for Australia, this is 0.9% for every 100,000 people. So if I go back and I go back to the thing I was looking at. So for Australia, let's go back to this. So again, the data point, again, just to remind us, because I'm flipping around here. So this is Australia. And the data point is homicide rate, okay? So, and then we said for Australia, it's 0.9. And again, that's per, and again, you guys can write this. I've got a big font here, but per 100,000. And so it's 0.9 per 100,000. And then you're going to do that. Whoops, I don't know what I just did there. And then you're going to do that for the other countries I identified. So I said, what I say, Namibia, and also for Guatemala. So I'm not going to do all that, but then you're going to pick other date. You're going to pick 4 other, what do I have? What did I say? 1, 2, it looks like there's actually 6 spots here. But either way, 6 is fine. And then just make some comparisons. So I picked homicide rate. You can pick a few other things. Pick, you know, to fill these in. And then what I want you to do is kind of compare them, you know, see what is the homicide rate in Australia versus Namibia versus Guatemala? What does that have to do with development? Okay, that's kind of what you're looking at here. So yeah, and then the next thing, this is going to be the next link that I have here is about is the next one, the next page. So it's on page 22. So page 22 is kind of getting at, you know, what are the highs and lows of the Human Development Index, the highest and the lowest human Development Index. And so here, and this is just kind of like a categorilla. So you're going to go ahead and do that. In the highest, you're going to fill in the highest, which is on page 22. So Norway is the most developed country in the world. You can go ahead and jot that down. And then you're going to have to skip ahead to the end of this, to the 19th page to get, and I think part of the 18th page, but to get the least developed countries in the world. And that's what you're going to put on page 22, okay? So that's pretty straightforward. Then on page 23 in the booklet, we're going to do this for the United States. So that last link on Google Classroom is this last one. It's called It's actually a difference, not the United Nations, because the United Nations doesn't do anything for the United States, but it's called Measure of America. And it's a very similar thing, except it's for just for the United States. Now, here's the thing. For some reason, when you first go to that link, it automatically takes you to a page that just shows population. So that, to be very clear, that's just about population. This is not something we're interested in right now. We're not doing population. Ignore that. What you need to do is you need to go down, and you need to be very careful about what you're actually measuring, what you're actually looking at. So, for example, that was about population. You need to scroll down. You need to go to Human Development Index, and that's what you click on first. And then you go up here, and this is very clearly the Human Development Index. And the first few questions are specifically about the Human Development Index. So go ahead and do that. Answer those questions on page 23. And then on number 6 on page 23, it actually asks you to scroll down, and you can click on some other things. So for example, you can click on health and education and income. So you click on education, for example, here, and you can basically look at any of these different topics. Just education by itself. Let's see, I think if I just click on education, it will change the map, maybe. Oh no, let me change the map, sorry. So if you click on education, you can, so question 6, I'm not quite sure if you're able to do that, because I'm trying to figure out why, if it just shows education in general. It doesn't look like it does, but if you click on some of these different features, you can answer more questions about on number 6. You may or may not be able to answer question number 6, because, oh, here's, you can answer questions about like completed a bachelor's degree or things like that. So go ahead and try to do question 6 to the best of your ability based on that. And then if you keep going, it says on the next page, it says select 4 states and complete the matrix below for them. So you're going to pick a state. For example, you pick Wyoming. And then if you look on, I'm going to come off of this for a second, and I'm going to come back to this. So you're going to go to, and this is what I've been talking about, these questions here. So for question 7 in particular, you click on a state, you write in the state, and then you say, okay, what is the high school finishing rate? What is the life expectancy and median earnings in that state? And then what is their rank? Okay. So if you go back to their this website, and then so I was looking at I was looking at Wyoming. And so if you just click on it, it shows what percentage of people complete high school, 93%. What is their life expectancy, and then their median income. And then you can also look, if you close that, you can get what is their ranking as far as their HDI rank, but you have to go back and look at the, you'll actually have to click on here, the Human Development Index. And here is actually, I'm just remembering now, here's where you actually can click on for question 6. You can click on for education. You can see which states rank the best for education index, and which states rank best for health index, and then income index. Okay, so that's back for question 6. So you can do all that, and then you can actually also, I asked you to go to Oregon, and then you can go, you have to click over here where it says where, and then you can click on this thing that says counties, and that's where you can look at like the state scale. And if you zoom into into Oregon, you actually have to zoom down, and hopefully you guys can figure out where what is the outline of Oregon without looking at the actual state. But Oregon, and then you can kind of look at how the different counties in Oregon fare, right? So the question is, what counties have the highest education? And the counties that have the highest education are the ones, well, this is index, income. But if we skip to education, we can see the counties that have the highest education are the counties around Portland, and then the ones down here, like, Benton County and Lane County, which is both the counties with Oregon State and or University of Oregon. So that kind of makes sense. So you can kind of answer those questions. And then the last part of it is just kind of peruse the website in general and kind of come up with some interesting things for the last question on page 25. So you kind of use this website to answer those questions. Anyway, my hope with this was I was trying to make this as clear and concise as possible. I realized that as I was kind of going through it, it was probably not as clear as I wanted it to be. But you know, the whole point is to try to get a sense of what is this idea of development at both the global level and also the national level, but then even on the state level. So where is development most advanced, and where is it still kind of lagging? So anyway, hopefully that's helpful. And if you have any questions, please let me know. But otherwise, there you go. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.